Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the SNF podcast. I'm the F.
And I'm the S.
All right, so you came across some foolishness today on TikTok, and
So it wasn't today, but it is
it was
foolishness.
it's foolish. At least for us, it's foolishness.
It
You know,
is.
people have their opinions. You
So,
want to bring that up?
yes. So, hold on.
Yeah.
The caption says 60-year-old man says provider men are extinct. After 10 kids and 3 marriages, he's done giving with nothing in return. Now, backstory.
Mm-hmm.
In the 2 minutes and 36 seconds of this video, you have a man who has been married 3 times. He has 10 kids, 7 of them step. And he feels like he has been giving with nothing in return. So hold on. My question to the masses was, is he just bitter? Or does he have a point? Because not for nothing. And I like to look at things from an unbiased view, and I like to look at the whole picture. I have seen women mistreat a good man or two. You understand? So it's like I hear where he might have started off as a good man and he's just been so burnt to the point. He just like, young men, don't give these women nothing. So today's topic I pose, what does being a provider and a protector mean today? Because we all were raised by, and okay, let me say this because I can't say we were all.
Yeah.
There's a lot of women who were raised in a single family household who didn't have the opportunity to enjoy a 2-parent household. So you don't get the rearing of the father or the mother. You also have households where it's just the women. So you have a generation of grandma, aunties, mom, daughters. Then you also have households where you have a 2-parent household. They're just non-existent.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody has grown up in different households and how they were taught to look at relationships. Old Southern style, you cook and clean for that man. You make sure he has a hot meal and you make sure home is clean. Now, in return, he's supposed to go kill the bacon that you're going to cook.
Yep.
That went out in like about the 70s, 80s, right?
Yeah.
Because
I would say the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
80s, that whole mindset was like done. You got the independent women came in, and this is where the generation of
I
go
think
ahead.
to be fair, the 80s was the crack epidemic. So a lot of these ladies who had to be independent was because a lot of their men were either on drugs, either in the street drug dealing or in jail. So just to be fair when it comes to that, not all, obviously.
So see,
but-
I can't use the crack epidemic for genealogy.
Yeah.
Reason why I say that is because family things are inherited.
Mhm.
You understand what I'm saying? So regardless if the crack epidemic hit, if you come from a no good mama and she birthed a no good child, it just what it is what it
It's
is.
just gonna be passed
It is
down.
it is the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. Now, you do have instances where you have children that look at their parents and realize my mama or my daddy wasn't shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to
Definitely say
be
that.
them. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying? So they're the ones, and those are the late 70s, 80s, 90s babies that said, all right, this shit ain't working.
Yeah.
But like I said, then you have the generation, and I'm going to put that to the 90s, 2000 women, where there was an influx of just single women. There was a lot of women getting pregnant, having babies, thinking it was going to keep the men. And then now you've bred a grandmother, a mom, and a daughter with the same mentality. So now you got 3 generations of women who's just fucking bitter at this point because grandmama fucked up and didn't know how to teach mama. Mama said, all right, grandmama didn't do it, but I'm going to do it better, and did a little bit better, but still did the fucked up shit. And now the daughter's looking at both generations and she's just like, am I doomed to be fucking bitter and ignorant like these women? Or am I going to do something different? Again, I look at generationally how we were taught certain stuff. So being that we have such the age gap that we do, this is why I'm posing to you, my love.
Okay.
What is a protector and a provider for women today? What does that look like?
Well, I'm gonna say that man, what they say to women, you need to choose better. So I
Yeah.
don't feel sorry for him
At all.
because you divorced 3 times. It's either them or it's you. You either not choosing better or that you ain't shit. Like that's how I feel. But when it comes to your question, what it is to be a provider or protector now,
Mhm.
I feel like unfortunately in this generation, men do think like that. Like, what's the whole point of me providing and protecting if I'm not going to get anything in return?
Mhm.
But I also do think that it does exist for some men, but you said it perfectly. It's a generation thing. If a man comes from a family where, and this may be controversial, I'm not saying this is for everyone,
Mhm.
but the men that I've been around and dated, a lot of times they know how to be providers because they grew up in a two-parent household.
Mhm.
That's not to say that if you didn't grow up in a two-parent household, you don't know how to be a provider or protector. But if you are able to see that your father was a provider and protector, you have a blueprint on how to do that. But unfortunately, and I don't want to use the whole single mother thing,
Mhm.
but unfortunately, you do have a lot of men, not all who are bitch made, because their mama obviously is a bitch. I'm a bitch. Like, we bitches.
So listen, my
You
oldest
know?
brother always taught me every man comes with half man and half bitch in them.
Yeah, and
That
it's
was
fair.
his
But
his
you can't be
eloquent
all bitch.
No, but that's his eloquent way of saying yin and yang energy.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? He didn't know how to explain it to me at that time, but as I got older and I started learning about energy in itself,
Mhm.
you understand the balance. Every female has a masculine
Yeah,
side, just like every
exactly.
male has a feminine side.
Exactly.
Now, to the point of being bitch made, I blame these mothers that turned these kids, these men, their young men into proverbial husbands.
Yeah,
It's like
I definitely agree
a
with you.
lot of these women out here, the single women,
Mhm.
you want to dress them up like they're 35. You want to have big chains on them, big baggy clothes, the fitted caps, the jewelry. They're two.
Exactly.
They're fucking two.
Yeah.
Like, where is little Raheem going?
Not
To
right.
the playground to go thug out some sand. Like, let's keep it real.
Mhm.
So now you have him dressed up as your cute little man.
Mhm.
Now he's getting older. You start tasking him with certain stuff. Now you're sitting down, you're having conversations with your son about your love life. No, ma'am.
No, and I definitely agree with that.
No,
I've seen
ma'am.
that too many times where these women treat their kids like that's their husband or that's their boyfriend. And
Right.
it's like just because you couldn't be able to keep
And now
your
I
man.
got to deal with him.
Exactly.
This is why this man has been divorced 3 times with 10
Exactly.
children,
'Cause
7
9
of them
times out of
step.
10, he had a
Because
mama.
all 3 women
Yeah.
came to their senses and said, I don't know what your mama did to you, but you need to go back to her. You can play with
Exactly.
anybody on earth but God and me.
Mhm.
Those are the only 2 people you
Exactly.
can't play with.
Yeah.
And this is what I need women of that generation to understand. Now, you had your child at 20 years old.
Mhm.
Your child is now, you're probably now, if you had your child at 20, you're probably in your 40s, hitting 50s. Your child are in their mid 20s.
Yep.
Somebody's daughter has to deal with the dumb shit you done did and how you raised this man low key fucked up.
Mhm.
And you want a woman to deal with that? No.
Yeah.
So when you
And
look at
not trying to cut you off,
Mhm.
and then not only that, but then they don't hold their sons accountable.
Accountable.
It's like it's one thing to raise a bitch made son and be like, damn, I raised a bitch made son. But you raising a bitch made son, and then you're not holding him accountable. You're making
But how do you want her to
excuses.
hold them accountable if she can't even admit that she raised a bitch made son?
And that's where the problem lies. There's no accountability in all parts. The women, the men. It's
Like
just
I need so here, going back to your point, you said that most of the men you grew up and have been around grew up in a 2-parent family household.
Yeah.
Now, we have to take into account, maybe we need to ask an American child, only because culturally,
I think
we're
I was
used
raised
to.
by a single mom, but that was actually an anomaly. Like people used to be like, really? But yeah, you're right. Yeah.
But it didn't start out that way. I know the
No.
circumstance. You
Yeah,
understand what I'm saying?
yeah,
So
yeah.
it still was a cultural
And a
2-parent
marriage, yeah, it
family
was.
household there. So this is my question. I would love to hear from the younger generation compared to those that's in my generation. I don't have a problem. I'm in my 40s.
Yeah.
Sanday's in
29. I'm about to be.
She's about to be 30.
Yeah.
So she's still in her 20s. So we literally have a nice 10 to 15 year gap there. You understand what I'm saying? At the same time, I want to know from the 20-year-olds, excuse me, that are embarking onto marriage, I want to hear from the 30-year-old that are just living single and dating. And I want to hear from those in my generation. What does it mean to be a protector and provider today?
And you did mention a point. Culture does play a part in
A
it.
big
So
part.
also because yeah, I can say, oh, a provider is this, a provider is that, but at
Mhm.
the end of the day, I come from, and this is obviously not to say that in Black American culture, being a provider is not important. But in African culture, if a man is not a provider, he's going to be shamed. Like everybody is going to shame him. You cannot have a kid and think you just going to be able to just be
Walk
like
around.
people going to come at you.
And see, I came from an era, females in my era, I watched cousins of mine get houses, cars, buildings. Y'all, I'm sorry. Y'all young girls fuck the price of pussy up because it's
Ooh.
like on some real
Ooh.
shit. Imagine growing up and I'm like, oh, I can't wait till I get my dude and he buy me this building and I could get this business and I could get that. And then I get to my era and they like, well, you want some liquor and $40? The fuck I look like to you? No, bitch, I want 40,000 about right now.
You know what's crazy? You said that because I remember I went on this date with dude I used to talk to,
Mhm.
and I remember he paid for the meal, but he made me leave the tip,
Mhm.
which isn't the problem. But then I did ask a question, and I wasn't even mad. I was like, hey, I feel like if you ask a woman out, you should pay for everything, including the tip. I wasn't mad, but it was just an observation.
Mhm.
Girl, he went off on me, and I was just like, I wasn't even mad. I just felt like me growing up, my mom used to always say, if you go out with a man or he's pursuing you,
He needs to court you.
you won't ever have to take your wallet out. So it was just an observation. Just like how I remember I was talking to this other dude and I was like, hey, my mom always told me that if a man come to your house, he should always come with something.
With something, thank you.
And he was like, oh, that's some African stuff.
And
Like,
so, okay. So listen, I'm going through the same shit with my daughter right now. She had a little guy. Personally, I think the little boy's gay, but I digress.
say that on camera. Go ahead.
Okay,
go
bleep
ahead.
it out.
Go ahead.
But personally, I don't think the little boy is into little girls.
Okay.
I think he's using her as her beard. We're in a point of society right now. I need young men and young women to be honest about what they're doing because they're playing a very dangerous game. And the reason why I'm saying that, one, I have no problem with anybody's sexual preference.
Yeah.
But when you start mixing and dibbling and dabbling, especially when it's your first sexual experience, you can bring a lot of heartache and pain to a person just because you don't know the rules of the dynamics of what you're playing. And when it comes to sexuality, sexually transmitted disease, I told my daughter the same thing. Her thing was he wanted to go out, not until he come and present himself to me and your father.
As he should, yeah.
And until that happened, guess who didn't go anywhere? Now, whether she snuck off with him prior to, cool. But this is the thing. We're not teaching our young ladies, our young daughters anymore self-respect. And self-respect comes with having a man court you, having a man put a little fucking effort in and not just taking your ass to the bodega, to the liquor store next door, going to the boy around the corner, grabbing a bag of weed and thinking that's a time.
Yeah.
That I know the fuck. I did not grow up like that. And I'd be damned if what I birthed accepts that.
Yeah.
Girl, listen, the fuck. I'm sorry.
Go get her weed so she could calm down.
I don't know what she talking about, y'all. I am wholesome.
But you said it perfectly. That's how it's supposed to be. A woman is supposed to be courted. A woman is supposed to be treated like a woman.
Okay.
But we're in this generation where you said it perfectly. Women are now just giving men all of these things and they're not being courted. Yeah, I'll let you stay in my couch, and I'm guilty of that. Yes, I'll let you stay in my couch. Yes,
We all
I'll
have been that.
Sign a car for whatever bitches.
No, now you tripping. You shouldn't be co-signing shit.
no,
Now, okay. I was about to cuss you the fuck out on camera. Like, God damn it.
I said the couch part. The rest is just stuff I've heard.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
there's chicks
yeah.
out there that will co-sign,
Yeah.
that will give up their whole income tax.
Exactly.
And again, I need
And
y'all to
just be
stop falling in love
respected.
with fucking potential. Potential don't pay no goddamn bills around here, and it damn sure don't keep you warm because potentially he might be here tonight and potentially he might go down the street tomorrow. Potentially
the
he might
next
have a
bitch.
fucking backyard. He see all y'all asses in one night. I don't fucking know, but I digress.
That's usually how it be though. And usually is he will hop to you, then he gonna hop to the next bitch that
But
pays
see,
this
this is
bill
what I
and
need.
pays that
This
bill
is
and
what I
pays
need
that
these
bill.
new influencers to do, like the Jadas and the Aries and the this and the that. Y'all get into a bag, sis, and I commend y'all because y'all showing different. But what I also need y'all to show is the bullshit y'all go through in the background. Like Ari, we know Moneybag done put you through some shit. We notice every time you get a bigger diamond or a bigger bag, bitch. I commended you for going on the fucking what is it called? The Impact.
Oh yeah, I
I
love her on
commend
that
you for
show.
going on
I
Impact
love
and
her on
saying,
that show.
babe, I saw this mansion on the waterfront for such and such point mil. That's the era I grew up in. That. But what I also need y'all to show the girls is what y'all go through behind the scenes when y'all get these type of gifts. Because everybody keeps making it seem like these relationships don't come with strings attached. Now, don't get me wrong. Back in my era, I came up during the era where weed was the big drug at the time. Weed was being sold by the tons. Fuck pounds.
Yeah.
I came up during the ton era where niggas was waiting for submarines to come in with 50 tons of weed. You understand what I'm saying? To be distributed. And girl, listen, Brooklyn in the 80s was the time to be the fuck alive. You hear me? Let me tell you
I keep
something.
forgetting you're from Brooklyn. I always think you're from Philly for some reason.
No. I was born in Jersey, but I was raised in Brooklyn.
Okay.
So
alright.
Brooklyn has always been home.
Yeah.
Technically, I'm supposed to be from New Jersey. I'd never claimed Jersey because the town I came from was too small for me. I've always had a bigger
You've always
mentality.
been a Brooklyn girl.
Always.
You
And
loved it.
again, Brooklyn in the 80s was a time to be the fuck alive, okay? Because it was nothing for a nigga to come drop 100,000, boom, in your business. See, I grew up, my aunt had a salon back in the day and in a well-known area. So being a young kid, you see different faces and you notice who is who. You notice what they pull up in.
Yeah.
You notice how they're dressed. And back in them times, the big Dookie chains was in.
Yeah.
The big Gucci
I'm over here
wears. The
saying,
Kango.
yeah, like I
understand?
do. It
But
was-
listen, what I'm
Yeah.
telling you. So
Yeah.
it's like when guys used to try to impress me, I always commend my brothers for how they raised me because my brothers raised me to a point. It's like they gave me everything to where I didn't need anything from a guy out here.
Yeah.
A guy thought they was impressing me. Boy, look, you piss me off. I'm going crying to my brother and I'm going to tell him you hurt my feelings and he's going to give me a couple dollars. I'm going to get me 2 pairs of 5411s. Fuck you.
And I love that. And I always said that I don't have kids, but I always said that if I have a daughter, that's what I want. I want to give, I'm going to be married. I'm going to make sure that. But I want to make sure that me and my husband give my daughter everything so that she won't ever have to feel like she has to be desperate for these dudes. Like,
right. And that's the
want
thing
that
with
so
my
bad.
daughter. And
Yeah.
what I love is my son followed in my brother's
that's
footsteps when it comes to
amazing.
her.
Yeah.
So it's like, yo, you don't need a man for nothing. You always have a brother you could call to. You have a father you
Yeah, I
could
was gonna
call
say
to.
she has
You
a
understand what
father,
I'm saying?
yeah.
So I don't need any of these little young boys out here to be able to impress you. And that's the problem. Social media, as much as we love it, it's a blessing and a curse because again, this generation, 2008 and beyond, the real technological era
Yeah.
kids, everything is online. But what they don't realize is everything that they see on this screen, they don't understand what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And that's the part. I need you to understand that girl that dresses up every day and has her face beat for the gods is probably at home plucking her hair. Underneath that wig, she probably has 5 bald spots
Yup.
because the constant criticizing and just being picked at online can get to people. And I'm just like, yo, so when it comes to relationships, I need these girls that's out here showing what your man is doing, show what he's doing in the background as well.
No,
because
you're not
trust
lying
me,
about that. Yeah.
no relationship is perfect. Me and my man, 20 together, 11 married. And trust me, we didn't have some blown out moments. You've been privy to one of them. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't pretend at all. People
Yeah.
could look at us and judge us from afar. Judge. I know how to deal with him. He knows how to deal with me.
Yeah.
But one thing we don't pretend.
And I love that you said, because that's the problem I have with a lot of these women is that they will like project their relationship and make it seem like they are living this happy relationship.
She be lying.
And it's a lot. And I've even experienced that. I would see a girl just post, oh, me and my man this, me and my man that.
Them
Meanwhile,
my
your
mans are
your
the main
man-
ones.
Your man is in my DM.
All day long, right?
It's really just not like
Listen.
that. And like you said, it's important to be transparent because a lot of times you have young girls specifically wanting to, look up to that and have that. not knowing, again, what you said, what you have to experience in the background. Like in relationships, you're gonna go through it, but it's about being transparent
Parent.
about it. And I feel like this generation
They don't
is
know
not
anything about
transparent at all.
transparency. It's like everything is so perfect. This is a Walgreens world. Everything is
Yeah.
picture perfect. No, the fuck it ain't. Because truth be damn told, there are times I hate my husband, and hate is a strong word. So let me pull that back and say I seriously dislike that man.
Yeah.
I seriously dislike his mom some days for birthing him. And then there's other days I wish a nigga would say something about my man. You understand what I'm saying?
Listen.
But again, if you're with a generation who doesn't know how to tap into their feelings, how can you understand the range of emotions? And I'm a crash out because I'm honoring my emotions. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So sit there and be perfect. And then when you spiral out of control, I'll be on social media with everybody else like, I told you, babe, she was crazy.
Exactly. But it's also important to know who is worth that, though. Because I don't want
Ding,
women to
ding,
think that,
ding,
oh,
ding,
yeah, no,
ding.
you guys are saying that this happens in all relationships. No. Again, like my relationship, it is kind of, I'm kidding. No, it's not perfect. Of course, there's certain things that I would like prefer. Like, hey, I wish you did more of this. I wish you did more of that. But you're worth it to me. Just like how I'm sure with your husband, yeah, y'all go through it. And like you
My
said,
money always been on the beat bang God.
yeah, but at the end of the day, he's worth it. So I don't want young people to think that like you should, like, there's no reason why this man should have had 3 ex-wives.
Like I said,
that man was not worth it.
I need people in today's world to understand when you are the problem. And a big thing is people don't know how to take accountability because everybody hides behind a screen. Nobody holds anybody accountable. We can hold everybody accountable online because you can have Twitter fingers and say what you really want to say.
Crush you, yeah.
But it's like in real life, this is what we're missing. We're missing real life interactions to be able to interpret one another's energy anymore. It's hard to read someone, what they're saying, how they're feeling, their body language over a screen.
Yeah. It's funny you said that because I also remember I was on TikTok this morning and somebody also said some of us are going to have to acknowledge that we're not good people.
Yeah,
I think it's hard for some of us to accept that we're not good people. And I'm going back to that video. This man is complaining about how he's been used and this, that, and the third. But part of me is like, what if this is your karma? What if you are not a good person and the universe is like, okay, I see you? Because I have experienced men who will like complain like, oh, this happened to me, that happened to me, this person did this to me, this person did that to me. But they are the worst human being. They are not pleasant
and
to be around.
I go back to the mothers. And the reason why, now you make me question your relationship with your mother. It makes me question how your mother reared you because you have some parents who don't see no wrong in their kids. They just think their kids is
God's gift
perfect
to the world.
and no matter what a next person is telling them, this is where the village got lost because everybody now, when somebody says something about somebody's kid, everybody wants to get defensive. No, sometimes as a parent, and I'm guilty, sometimes I don't see stuff right away. I may have an inkling, but then it takes for somebody to come back to me to confirm what I was feeling. And then now I can bring the war down. You understand what I'm saying? But sometimes it's hard for us to see our children because in our eyes, they're our little babies. They're going to always be our babies. But you also got to remember, you also have to recognize when you've birthed a devil spawn. Because there's a lot of kids out here, honestly, that should have been swallowed rather than birthed.
Girl, you know I'm a teacher. And when I say there's times when I look at them kids and I'm like, you should have been in a doctor's freaking garbage bin. Like you should have been aborted. I'm sorry, but some of your kids deserve to be aborted as a teacher.
And
that's how I'm saying.
Not for nothing. That was harsh.
I'm sorry, but
and for me to say that was harsh, you know why? Only because the line of work that I'm in, and because I look at trauma for a living. You understand what I'm saying? Again, it makes me start looking at what was your mama going through when she was carrying you? What type of trauma did your mom inflict on you? Did your mama touch you? Because let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. There's a show on Netflix that I watched and I fell in love with it, called Animal Kingdom. It talked about the Cody family. 6 seasons, and I binged watched it, I swear to God, in like 3 weeks. One of the things that took me by surprise, literally by episode 1, was that the mother was kissing her boys on the lips. And I was like, yo.
You told me about this.
And then I remember by episode 2, I was saying out loud, is you touching them boys? And as the series went on, you start to recognize I wasn't wrong.
She was touching
She
him?
was having it's like the Oedipus complex almost. It's like they were falling in love with each other because again, a mother leaning on a child to do adult things, and now the son. What was even crazier, the son or proverbial son was into the daughter, like, and then the daughter got into, like, if anybody is out there, watch Animal Kingdom and you'll understand what I'm going, what I'm leading up to. But that shit exists. And I need us to have that hard conversation. Again, mothers need to stop looking at their children as proverbial partners. That shit is sick. It's detrimental. And we are starting to see, especially in this younger generation, who all possibly was touched by their mamas, who all were given feelings of inappropriateness by their mamas. Because it's playing out in adult life, it's playing out in relationships. And this is what young women, such as myself, who have to teach their daughters to be wary of. These are the red flags. I have to teach my daughter, you don't want no man that's too controlling. You don't want no man that's going to do this. And it's all because, again, what did you do to your son as you were raising him?
Oh, well, I don't know. You kind of gave me the ick with that whole
Like-
Animal Kingdom.
Like, seriously. And mind you, they were this color. You understand what I'm saying? They were this color.
Well, they kind of do that a lot, though.
And listen,
We gonna keep that.
but no, not for nothing, because incest runs deep on both sides.
Really?
Yeah, Black Americans and Black people in a whole, when you listen to a lot of Black women who's been raped at a young age,
Oh yeah,
at the
yeah.
hands,
The women, yes.
at the hands of, but we paid so much attention to the women, we forgot about the men. And when you look at a lot of accounts, a lot of comedians even talked about their babysitters or their sisters
Yeah.
or a family member touching them inappropriately young. And I just don't understand. As a sexual person, and I'm a low-key freak, y'all. I make no qualms about that. Who needs to know knows. I could never look at a fucking kid and get enticed. So it makes me wonder what's going on in here. Again, trauma begets trauma. So when you look how deep rooted and how deep seated it is, it goes deep. But no one wants to have this conversation. And I'm tired of the family members that want to keep these type of conversations quiet. No, tell me about the fucking pedophile from 2 generations ago. I want to know if Uncle Larry was touching on anybody in the fucking family. Because if I need Uncle Larry to watch my child one day, I want to know this. And I think I'm entitled to know this.
This is why this is crazy and you're a witch. Because
I'm mad you telling people I'm a witch.
Oh, my bad. She not a witch, y'all. But it's crazy you said it.
But I do witchy things. I'm sorry.
But one of the poems I was gonna read at our thing was about sexual abuse within the family. And just like how it gets passed on from generation to generation because nobody wants to talk about it in both the women and the men's side. And you're right, a lot of times with these just men in general, they would like make light about their sexual abuse. And I'm like, no, that was sexual abuse. Your babysitter should not have
done that.
with you. Like, that's not funny.
Listen.
So,
guys, we're running out of time, but I think this conversation deserves a part 2.
Yeah,
Let's
we
talk.
definitely
I think the next segment we should do next week is talking about why are we keeping the pedophiles in the family a secret? I don't give a fuck that it's your brother. I don't give a fuck that it's your daddy. I want to know. And I think as family members, there should be some type of conversation. Because you have a lot of these children, of course, not to alienate the person, but if someone is touching on a child, if someone is inappropriately doing something to a child, why should they still be around other children?
And it's disgusting because that literally happens. Even in my family, there is a known pedophile who is around the kids, and that's why I just cut myself off. But like you said, this is a conversation we really need to talk about because it's really important to obviously you and me that experienced it. So
listen, guys, catch us next week. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at
SNF Podcast, also on TikTok, SNF Podcast.
And wait, YouTube.
Oh, YouTube, SNF Podcast. Yeah.
Until next week, guys. Mwah.